Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Stories with Sally. I am so happy to be with you for a special summer edition of Stories with Sally. What I wanted to do today was I wanted to do a story in honor of my 2020-2021 second grade class, the second grade superstars, Mrs. Melambry's second grade superstars. I had a fabulous class this year, and it was so wonderful to be back in the classroom, despite COVID and everything that we had to deal with during this crazy time. But let me tell you something about my superstars. They just went with the flow, nothing bothered them. We went through mask, plexiglass, no mask, still having plexiglass. We started with a hybrid schedule. And then a couple of times we had to go 100% virtual. And then we went 100% face to face. Then we even had a day because of bad weather that we went 100% virtual again. It was a wild year, but through it all, my superstars were awesome. They had the best attitude. They loved each other. They loved me, and we had a wonderful year together. So this story is in honor of my class, Mrs. Spitzer's Garden. And the author of Mrs. Spitzer's Garden is Edith Pattou. That's who wrote this story. The illustrator is Trisha Tusa, and that is who did the pictures for the story. Here we have the title page. And the copyright page. Mrs. Spitzer is a teacher. She is in room 108 of Tremont Elementary School. Inside room 108 are 6 tables, 4 circles, and 2 rectangles. There is a rug in one corner with real hopscotch squares and checkerboards woven in bright colors. There is also a size chart, a birthday chart, a gerbil in a cage, a housekeeping and dress-up corner, a row of 22 pegs for coats and backpacks, and in another corner, Mrs. Spitzer's desk. At the end of summer, Mr. Merrick, the principal, walks down the hall to Mrs. Spitzer's room and gives her a packet of seeds. Mrs. Spitzer consults her calendar and plans her daily schedule. She checks her tools. She makes sure the soil is right, light and well drained, with plenty of room for sprouting. Then Mrs. Spitzer plants the seeds. She waters them, feeds them, and makes sure they get plenty of sun. The seeds begin to sprout. As the plants grow, Mrs. Spitzer watches them closely. She checks daily for weeds and pests. She knows that different plants need different things and that each plant has its own shape. Some of the plants grow quickly, pushing upward eager and patient. Some grow more slowly, unfolding themselves bit by bit. Some plants sprout thin and tall. Some are bushy and wide-spreading. Some are bold, showy. They are brightly colored, saying, "Look at me." Some are silvery and quiet, the color of the earth. A few are like wildflowers and will grow anywhere you put them. And some need gentle care, a special watching over. As the seasons change, Mrs. Spitzer tends her garden. And then the year is over and her job is done. But the plants will keep growing, uncurling their stems, stretching their leaves outward, and showing their faces to the sun. Mrs. Spitzer puts away her tools, her daily calendar, and her plan book. Soon another year will start, and Mr. Merrick will once again walk down the hall with a packet of seeds for Mrs. Spitzer. She will dust off her tools, till the soil, and a new garden will begin. So boys and girls, we've talked a lot in second grade about genres of books that we read. And when we think about genre, we can think about two large categories. We can think about if the book is fiction or nonfiction. And I don't know if you remember, but a little clue as to how you can remember what fiction means and what nonfiction means is to think of fiction as being fake, so not real, and nonfiction as being not fake or real. So underneath the two categories of fiction and nonfiction, there are a lot of different types. So we have many different types of fiction books. We have realistic fiction books, a story that could be real, it could happen, but it didn't actually happen. And then we have fantasy and folk tales, and in those stories, we know that they're not real because animals talk and they do things that we know animals can't really do. And then when we think about nonfiction books, we might have biographies and autobiographies. A biography, remember, is a book that somebody writes about someone else. And an autobiography is a book that someone writes about themselves. So if I wrote a book about my own life, that would be an autobiography. So we have a lot of different types of genres when we think about books. Well, Mrs. Spitzer's Garden is a fiction story. So it didn't actually happen. It's not real, but it is a fiction story because it did not actually happen. If it was a book about, let's say, animals, alligators, or bears giving real facts, that would be nonfiction. That would be an informational text, which is nonfiction. So when you're reading this summer and you're reading different stories, I want you to try to think about the genre of the stories you're reading. And to my superstars, my second graders who are now going on to third grade. I hope you are having the best summer. I hope that you're relaxing and getting time to swim at the pool and in the ocean. And I look forward to seeing you back at St. James next year in third grade. I hope everyone has a great afternoon, a great day, and please remember to tune in to Stories with Sally on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.